Welcome to the Working Man Committee podcast. I'm your host, Brandon T. And this is the place where we have conversations about what really important to the working man. And so far, and I want to let y'all know before we get too far started, saying right versus left, Democrat versus Republicans, and so forth. You know what? It all breaks down like this, right? The working man, we look at one side, see, okay, there's things I like over here. You look at the other side, there's also things. So we don't go on one side or the other here. You know what I'm saying? We talk about it all and try to find common things that we like. And so with that being said, we're gonna say something that might be a good thing, might not be a good thing, depends on your viewpoint on the world. And that is that the Trump administration has decided that H-1B visas should change and so forth. And from and it should be a revenue stream to the government. Now, now you got to understand when you say revenue stream to the government. You got President Trump. He's a businessman, and so it's all about how much money you can make or how much money you can maybe save. But it's just basically on how much money you can make. And just like the tariffs and so forth, the tariff go up and it brings in billions and billions and billions of dollars. And so, okay, bet. So it's like where that money going and so forth. And I guess we really need to look into, is that money actually helping the American people do anything? Or if it's paying down a debt, then okay, well maybe we need to pay down debt because so for some reason in this country we do all these endless wars all the time. And so there's a skirmish somewhere that a politician, right or left, regardless of pro war, not pro war, will spend the money and so forth. And now we go to the next thing is the H-1B visa. Now, what is H-1B visa, as you say? So these are the visas that tech companies use to bring high skilled workers in. Yep. So you get those high skilled workers. They come in from other countries. They are talented in very talented and so forth, and they're here to quote unquote help the companies and so forth. For what I'm saying, you might need a certain level of skill sets, and then the pool here doesn't fit that. So they would go out to another country, say you fit the skill sets that we need, and bring you over. And so the H-1B visa used to be like I said, used to be mainly from Asia and India, and make sure you get those people that fall into those H-1B visas. They pay $1,000, they get the visa, and then when they come, they're tied to a company. They work for that company for duration of their visa time, and then I guess they go back, or they could try to get green cards and so forth, and continue work. But the visa actually ties them to a company. And so President Trump has decided that H-1B visa, you know what? Good revenue stream. And $1,000 isn't good enough. And so he's imposed, let's see, he's imposed that it goes to $100,000 annual fee for H-1B visa. So now $100,000 a year. So who would this H-1B visa help or hurt? So the biggest companies that use the H-1B visa, as it stands now, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, and Google are the top users of the H-1B visas and so forth. With Amazon having 14,000 H-1 visa holders as of June. So now that $100,000 for 14,000. Let's do the quick math on that. Where you at? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. 14,000 times 100,000. So he wants $1 billion, 1.4 billion. So now, what would Amazon do? Would Amazon pay it? Help them pay it? Or are they gonna cut the salary? And I know Trump's like, well, they cut the salary. And when they cut the salary, and then they cut the salary, and when they cut the salary, they hire more Americans. Now, granted, you know what I'm saying, that would think that that would be the case. But if the skill sets are not there, then what does the company do now? Because it's like we talk on. It's like we talk on. He talks on. I guess the administration talks in both ways. It's like, okay, it's all about the money. Let's get the money. Let's get the money. Let's get the money. Let's get the money. And bet I get that. You know what I'm saying? I'm with getting the money, but then also you on the other side of like how to get the money, and the government only gets money by taking it from people. You know what I'm saying? The government is not necessarily selling anything that's they're not selling a product or so forth. They're pretty much in this case selling access. And then that goes back with the, you know what I'm saying, the gold card Trump wants to sell. I think he was saying you get it ahead of the line if you spend $1 million to come in the country. It's like I said, it's all about the money. And then on the effective and on the back end, nobody's really looking at that. Like what happens the next day. So if these companies, especially Amazon, says, all right, we can't spend 1.4 billion, you know what I'm saying, annually, you know what I'm saying, it comes on the bottom line. And so now you cut that number way down. Did you stifle their growth? Did you cause Amazon to in turn offshore more business? So that 14,000, you know what I'm saying, that's big enough to all right, we're gonna eliminate the jobs here and send them over there. But like I said, you know what I'm saying, Trump is like, I'm saying in this scenario, Trump is like, well, we gonna get the money. They gonna get the money because they want to be the money. It's America. And granted, you know what I'm saying, in some aspects that will be true, but in some aspects that won't be true, and so forth. And then so like I say, it says here that say foreign governments, are especially India and South Korea, are assuming a humanitarian and economic consequences. India warns of disruption of the families and innovation and so forth. So yeah, so they're trying to tell the Trump administration, hey man, this number is not sustainable. You're not going to get the money. So, no, for us, Trump just thinks he's going to get the money just because he said, "Give me the money." And in some cases that might have been the truth, but in this case it might not be the truth because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, these tech companies, and then especially with this AI, you know what I'm saying, that's being very capital intensive, is there even room for it? And then two, like I said, I would love to know what from the other side, you know what I'm saying, what do you do with the money? So you get that $1 billion. Does it go? Is there a benefit to America, or is it? I mean, if it's to pay down the debt, I mean, I get it, pay down the debt and so forth. I know that they're looking for interest rates to come down and so forth. But it's more or less that we're having a we need to really have a discussion here about, you know what I'm saying, is the business practice over, you know what I'm saying, running the country. Because I remember, you know what I'm saying, let me share this. I thought at one point in time, you know what I'm saying, we really needed a business. This is a while ago. This is like probably when Mitt Romney was running, like somebody knows business and so forth. And then now we got somebody that knows business, and it's like, okay, you got a product. I mean, you're trying to create revenue outside of the normal taxing structure, and then creating this extra revenue. You know what I'm saying? You can say, hey, when you're bringing it in, you increase revenue, but then, like I said, does that revenue capture hurt anybody and so forth? And so, like I said, it could be part of one of those things where it does hurt because, like I said, these H1B visas, you know what I'm saying, are high skilled labor. And I can understand, you know what I'm saying, you can probably say, well, they when they tie these people to the company with the H1B visa, and they could probably charge a lesser salary. And then so now you're like, okay, now you're not tied, now you gotta pay people what they're supposed to make. And granted, that could possibly be the case, that now that, you know what I'm saying, a lot more people will get tech jobs, which they probably will, but is there a cost to not having the H1B visa? And so at the end of the day, you gotta look at this. Is there will this be a benefit or a hindrance to what we do here in America as far as innovation in the tech side? With that being said, leave it in the comments, and we'll go from there. Peace.